Hi guys, in this video we are gonna be painting this portrait of the white rose. Also, I'm going to share with you the secrets of how to mix proper white color for realistic painting. Let's get to it.
There is no pure white color in nature or in painting. The light always has a specific color. If everything that receives light is also a source of light, it must naturally reflect color. Sunlight has a warm yellow hue. At sunset a warm reddish hue. The blue sky produces light with a cool bluish tinge, etc. White objects, such as snow, clouds, a tablecloth or a refrigerator, cannot be painted in pure white from a tube in a realistic painting. But if you want to fully express yourself, and step out of the limits of realistic painting, you can of course use white color straight from the tube if you need. An illuminated white object has several different values depending on how its planes are inclined to the light source. Using gray does not solve this problem, as gray will still look gray and not white. So what's the secret to mixing the right whites? The answer to this question is the key to mixing white colors is the color and temperature of the light. On the practical example of a snowy tree, it can be seen that the lightest values, snow on the illuminated part of the branch, has a slightly yellowish warm hue. It is therefore necessary to mix the white color with this warm yellow-orange tinge. Conversely, darker values in shadow and halftone are more inclined to the blue sky. Therefore, the color is not gray, but has a cool bluish tint. Thanks to the color, temperature and tonal contrast of the surrounding colors and values, white appears really white in the light, even though the local color actually has a certain hue and value. I used the following colors to paint the white flower: titanium white, Naples yellow red, Naples yellow deep, raw sienna, transparent oxide red, light blue color, ultramarine deep and burnt umber. Light blue is a mixture of white and ultramarine blue with a small amount of madder lake deep. In general, it does not matter what colors are used. It is important to know what shade is the goal of your mixing. Selected colors have a light value and a warm hue, which exactly suits my requirement. As you can see, by mixing Naples yellow and Naples red, I get a light warm hue that fits the illuminated part of the white flower. If I add light blue to the warm mixture, I reduce the chroma and shift the warm hue to the cooler part of the spectrum, which is perfect for painting areas in half-tones. While mixing, I realize that the petals are partially transparent. The light that falls on the shaded parts of the flower causes the shadows to be full of color, and have a lighter value than with an opaque object. The areas in the shadow, a simple combination of yellow and dark red colors. By adding ultramarine blue, I reduced the chroma as needed. I would like to emphasize here that the value plays a more important role than color here. Especially for white flowers, pay attention to the value range and contrast. In general, the shadows should not be too dark and should be colorful as much as possible. It is wise to start painting a white subject by painting the background first. The white local color of the flower would appear too dark on a light background. Therefore, I first applied a part of the dark background, to make my estimate of the values more accurate. The dark background increases the tonal contrast and thus optically lightens the value of the warm local hue, which represents the white color of the flower. In addition, the background has a cold hue, which again creates a color and temperature contrast with the warm local color. These factors further reinforce the impression that the rose is truly white. The white roses are widely used, especially in wedding bouquets or in combination with other colors of flowers. White symbolizes purity, innocence, loyalty, love, accountability, and sympathy. Painting a white flower is a great exercise for a chapter on the problem of white colors. In a realistic painting, white always has the hue and temperature of the light source. Painting flowers, especially white ones, requires a special approach for their realistic depiction. The petals of the roses are translucent, and the light thus reaches the inner part of the flower. Therefore, the shadows of flowers are not generally dark, but have, with a few exceptions, a light value and high chroma. Therefore, it is necessary to use a limited group of values in the lighter region of the value scale. Always remember that the area of half-tone generally reflects the immediate surroundings. Simply put, if, for example, you paint a still life or flower that has a background with a cold blue hue, this color tendency should also be reflected in the half-tones of your subject. In our case, the flower has a bluish cold shade in the half-tone areas, which again contrasts with the warm local color. It is absolutely essential that this alternation of temperatures be maintained throughout the painting of the entire picture. When applying the paint, it is good to follow the rule, to use a thicker layer of paint in the illuminated part and to use weak glaze layers in the shadow areas. In the shadow areas of the flower, we can use a warm underpainting, which we let shine through in places, or we can cover it only with a weak glaze layers. The thick layer of paint not only simulates the texture, but also enhances the feeling of a three-dimensional object on a two-dimensional surface.
Thank you so much guys for stopping by. If you liked this video and you want to support my work, please don't forget to check the links below the video and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time, bye.